COGNIFY, Episode 10, Patient 0, The Analog Tapes, Dispatch 010. I don't know if this signal is making it to the surface. I ripped the faceplate off of a maintenance comms terminal in the wall of this holding cell. I stripped the wires with my teeth, bypassed the digital lock, and tied it into the old analog emergency conduit. I spent my deployments in the dirt maintaining air traffic control systems. I know how to find a frequency in the dark. If the red tide is still listening, if the copper is still humming, ping the relay. Let the network know I am still breathing, but I am no longer on the roof. I am under the mountain. I am inside the Panopticon. When the broadcast cut out on the 6th, it wasn't a glitch. The extraction team breached the door. They didn't announce themselves. They didn't read me my rights. It was just the blinding white flash of a stun grenade, the deafening ring in my ears, and the dead weight of heavy tactical gear driving me into the floorboards. I felt the zip ties bite into my wrist. I felt the rough canvas of a hood get dragged over my head, plunging me into absolute suffocating darkness. They dragged me down the stairs. They threw me into the back of an electric transport van. There was no engine noise, just the eerie, high-pitched whine of the battery and the smell of synthetic armor and sweat. We drove for hours. The ride was entirely silent. Nobody spoke. I could feel the road changing. I felt the transition from the shattered asphalt of the city to a perfectly smooth subterranean incline. My ears popped as we descended deep into the earth. The temperature dropped. The air smelled different, scrubbed, filtered, completely devoid of the dirt, the exhaust, and the humanity on the streets. When the van finally stopped and they pulled the hood off, the light was blinding. I am sitting in a cell, but there are no bars. It is a cube made entirely of glass. The floor, the walls, the ceiling, total transparency. Everywhere I look, I see sterile, blue-white light reflecting off perfect geometric surfaces. It is beautiful in the most terrifying way imaginable. It is an architecture of absolute control. Elias didn't build a dungeon. He built a cathedral of observation. He wants you to know that you cannot hide. He wants you to know that every breath, every flinch, every drop of sweat is being recorded, analyzed, and fed into the algorithm. This is what martial law looks like in 2028. It doesn't look like a firing squad. It looks like a clinic. They want to induce sensory deprivation by giving you too much perfection. They want to strip away the shadows, strip away the corners, and strip away the dark matter until you feel like you are dissolving into the light. But here is the lesson they failed to program into their AI. Here is the framework you need to understand if they ever put a hood over your head and throw you in a box. When the state takes your physical body, they want you to believe they have taken your sovereignty. They strip your clothes. They bind your hands. They control the lights and they control the air. Psychological goal of captivity isn't just to hold you in a place. It is to convince your internal multi-agent system that the suppression layer has failed. It is to make your mind panic, to make you feel completely helpless, so that when they finally offer you a way out, even if that way out is a memory wipe, you beg them for it. Sovereignty is not a geographic location. It is an internal posture. Elias looks at me in this glass box and thinks I am trapped. He doesn't realize that I was born in a box. I grew up at 96 Wayne Street, a claustrophobic, compressed row house where you couldn't breathe east or west. I learned how to exist in the dark, under the heat pipes, carrying the weight of multiple overlapping cultures in a space too small to hold one. I've been in a pressure cooker my entire life. You cannot fragment something that was already forged in compression. When they threw the hood over my head, my mind didn't shatter. The suppression layer took over. I slowed my breathing. I mapped the turns in the road. I analyzed the hum of the facility. I became the operator. If they put you in a cage, do not look at the bars. Look at yourself. You are the board. You own the 64 squares of your own mind. They can only flip your pieces if you surrender the game. Me in this glass room for what feels like 2 days. No interrogations, no beatings, just the silence. They are preparing the machine. I can see it through the layers of glass across the subterranean floor. The COGNIFY capsule. It sits in the center of an elevated platform, bathed in that cold blue light. It looks like a sarcophagus built for the future. I am patient 0. Because we broke the physical state on the 6th. Elias is fast-tracking World 2.0. He isn't going to use this machine on violent criminals anymore. He is going to use it on the architects of the resistance. He is going to use it on the dark matter of society. He wants to strap me into that capsule. He wants the ultra-precise brain scanner to map every neural pathway I have. He wants to synthesize a 20-year sentence, flood my brain with a digital hash, and violently overwrite my memory. He wants to erase the 6th. He wants to erase the red tide. He wants to erase the sand of Iraq, the dirt of Jersey City, and the analog soul that kept me alive. He wants me to wake up in 10 minutes, entirely unprogrammed, completely compliant, and grateful for the peace of a hollowed out mind. There are vibrations in the floor. I can see the silhouettes moving through the glass corridors. The extraction team is coming back, but someone else is walking in front of them. No tactical gear, just a suit. It's him. Elias is coming to the cell. He wants to look the analog resistance in the eye before he feeds it to the machine. This might be the last time you hear my voice exactly as it is right now. If the drop breaks me, if I walk out of that machine in 10 minutes and I am someone else, if I start broadcasting compliance, do not listen to me. Burn the receiver, cut the wire. But I am telling you right now, copper remembers what circuits forget. I am taking every piece of dark matter I own into that capsule. I am taking the grit, the rage, and the undeniable truth of a raw human life. I'm going to let his algorithm choke on it. They are at the door. Maintain the network. The storm decides nothing. You do. Keep it analog. Keep it human. This is Ace Rivera going dark. This is It's Just Raw.